motherfuckers alive.
What? I think I've finally built it. The end game desk setup for content creation. It took me years and way too many wrong turns to get here, so let me walk you through the whole thing, every piece, why it's there, and the one thing I would actually change. Here's what I needed the space to do. 1. Film YouTube and short form content, just flip the camera on and hit record. 2. I need to be able to script, edit, and run the business comfortably on my MacBook with a dual monitor setup. 3. Stream and game on a separate gaming PC. And 4, the most underrated one, let me actually enjoy being here for a long day. The hard part was getting all 4 to live on the same desk at the same time, ready to go with nothing to dig out or to plug in. So quick heads up before we start, I did partner with Desky on this video. They send out the desk for free as well as the accessories as well as the gaming chair. And if at all during this video you find any of these products to be helpful or you want in on the action, link will be down in the description below. It genuinely helps out the channel so much. But with that all being said, I'm going to be straight with you the entire way through. So let's get into the desk. This is the Desky dual sit stand desk, and I went with the classic oak top and white legs. The color was a deliberate choice. My old desk was a plain white one and the whole room felt sterile and cold. The oak warms the entire space up. It feels organic instead of clinical, and the white legs basically disappear into the room because my PC is white and the floors and the wall are light as well. It just feels like it belongs here. And what's cool is if this desktop doesn't fit your vibe, you can go ahead and swap it out with any of Desky's options. They got bamboo, other color oaks, black, white, whatever you want. And for me, the oak was the right pick. And the reason it can be the foundation is the build. With dual motors, 308 pounds of capacity, which sounds like overkill until you actually load it up with 2 monitors, the riser, a dock, and everything else, and the desk just powers right through it. And that part actually matters day to day. It's rock solid and at full standing height. There's no wobble, there's no shake when I'm trying to type. And that's where I personally feel cheaper standing desks fall apart. And it's the first thing that I checked with this desk. Now, the part that I didn't expect to love this much is the controller. It's Desky's own Bluetooth controller, and it's a thing I touch most. Actually, I don't, but more on that later. So it's got 4 memory presets saved, my sitting height, I got my standing height, and a few in between. And with one tap, it goes wherever I want it to go. I move between sitting and standing about a few times per day because I do spend long hours here at this desk. So getting up, letting the blood flow is a very good thing to do. Now, what's funny is it also comes with a sedentary reminder. So if you've been sitting too long, it'll go ahead and remind you to stand up. But me personally, I'm not going to use that because I feel like I can go ahead and stand up when I feel like I want to. It even pairs with an app, and through that app, it works with Siri. So when I'm about to film, I don't even touch the controller. I just say, hey Siri, lower my desk. Or if I want to raise the desk, I just say, hey Siri, raise my desk. And it does all of that hands-free, which is so helpful when I just want to go ahead and switch without thinking about it. Like, it makes me feel like Iron Man. So the app itself lets you set everything from your phone. So height limits, so it never crashes into your shelf. It has anti-collision sensitivity and personal lighting. There's an RGB strip on the controller with a bunch of color modes. I personally set mine to green and white. Those are my 2 favorites, but you could do any other color that you want. The controller has an 18-watt USB-C fast charge port built right into it, so my phone charges at the desk without adding another cable or brick to the pile. It's a small thing, but these little details genuinely make my life so much easier. So shout out Desky for getting these tiny details right. Now moving on to under my desk. This is the part that I'm genuinely most proud of because cable management has been my arch nemesis since I was a kid. Like, I remember spending hours zip tying and velcroing cables under my desk, all for it to come in out looking very messy, and after a few months the cable management just seems to cease to exist. But Desky, they got this integrated cable and data channel that runs along the underside of the desk. Everything routes into it, so power, the key lights, my dock, my camera. So it basically consolidates everything down to a single cord going into the wall. There's no bulky extension strip on the floor, no rat's nest as you guys can see right here. And what's great is it's actually serviceable as well. So you can pull this pin and the tray pops right open. You can route a new cable, clip it shut. So when I add or move gear, I'm not undoing an hour of work. I can get in there, plug it in, or remove a cord seamlessly. So it'll power a stack of plugs, and it's also got a USB-A and USB-C built into the channel itself. But the part that really gets me on this build is this is the least time I've ever spent on cable management, and somehow it is the best result I've ever gotten. And because the whole channel travels with the desk, it stays clean whether I'm sitting or standing and nothing snags. And it's just so weird. After years of always seeing cables dangling down, I feel so much cleaner and free. And while we're down here, there are 2 more Desky pieces that do a lot of quiet work. The slim under desk drawer is where the small stuff lives that used to clutter the surface. So like my earbuds, my notebook, like now it's out of sight, but I could easily grab it whenever I want. And you've probably already noticed by now, but my gaming PC isn't on the floor, nor is it taking up desk space. It's actually sitting on Desky's PC mount, holding it up underneath the desk. It's off the floor, meaning it's not breathing in dust, and it frees up the entire desktop for me to just have a lot more open space, which helps me get more work done. Okay, so now going back to the top of the desk, the last sort of accessory is the minimal monitor stand, and it does 2 jobs. So one, it's gonna lift up your monitor if you have it attached to a base, just so that way you have a better eye line and it just is better for your neck. But also it gives you a whole second shelf of real estate. So that's where my dock now lives, my stream deck, and a couple things I just like having on display. It adds a layer of dimension so the desk isn't just one flat plane, and the oak matches the desktop so it reads as one continuous piece. Small addition, but surprisingly big difference. So here's how all of that turns into an actual workflow. So the MacBook is the brain, and the dock on the monitor stand is what makes it a command center. One cable to the Mac, and suddenly both monitors, the camera, my mic, and power are all connected. It also runs my SSD and card reader, so when I finish filming, I pull the card, drop it in, and dump the footage straight to the SSD with no adapters and no wasting time hunting for the ports. And for work peripherals, I'm using the Logitech MX Keys and MX Master 3S on a black topographic high ground mouse pad. The Stream Deck lives on the stand for a one-tap access to my Spotify, my most visited sites, and my stream controls. And the mic that I'm using is a Shure SM7B. That's the crisp professional sound on everything I make, including this video. And on the average day today, it runs into the MacBook through the dock. But when I stream, I do like to move it over to my gaming PC, so that way when I stream, I could have my video and audio all coming from a single source. It just makes it so much easier. So it's the same mic, but it does 2 different jobs. So the steps from switching from work to gaming is almost nothing. I changed the monitor input to DisplayPort, and I'm on my gaming PC. And while I'm gaming, I tend to stream as a dual PC setup, so I have gameplay and audio routed to my MacBook, and I monitor the stream on the vertical monitor on the left side while I play on the main one. The gaming peripherals that I'm using is a Gravistar K1 keyboard and Logitech SuperStrike Pro X2, so the gaming side has its own feel. And I opted for Bluetooth and wireless keyboard and mouse options, so that way I don't clutter my desk with any unnecessary wires. Oh, and the wallpaper is actually a Brock Hofer piece. If you know Counter-Strike, he designed the Hyper Beast M4A1S skin, so it's a little homage to my favorite game living on the monitors every day. The last big piece is the chair, the Desky Vanguard. It's a mesh ergonomic chair, and it threads a needle that I really care about. It feels gamery and trendy, but professional enough that I can hop on an important call without being embarrassed by a giant racing stripe throne. And the reason it works for long creator days is how much of it actually adjusts. The back frame is adaptive. It moves when you lean instead of fighting you. The armrests are full 6D, so I could dial them in for typing, for gaming. Like, it's genuinely a lot more range than I expected. There's proper lumbar support in the lower back, and the headrest is fully customizable. Also, the seat depth slides out to about 5 centimeters. I've got mine maxed out, and for a taller frame, that made a real difference in how the chair fits my legs. If you're on the tall side, that's the first thing I'd adjust. Now, at first, I didn't know about this feature until I went back and forth with Desky's email support because I was feeling some pressure on my legs, but I swear as soon as I found out that I could extend the base of the chair, all of my problems went away. So shout out Desky and their amazing customer support. For years, I had to pick between functional or a setup that's nice to be in, but this setup is actually both. It doesn't hold me back from taking action. And it doesn't hold me back from having fun because work feels like play and play feels even better. Again, everything Desky is linked in the description: the desk, the stand, the cable channel, the PC mount, the drawer, the chair, and using these links genuinely help support the channel. So if this was useful to you and you want to go ahead and check them out, that's the way to do it. Anyways, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, take action, take over. Peace.